Hey guys, how are you today? This is Eric Bramlett with Bramlett Residential, and today we are here to talk about the August 2024 Austin real estate market statistics. First, I want to point out the balloons behind me. We recently hit a pretty big benchmark at the firm, and we partnered with our 100th agent, which huge benchmark to reach. Not our goal to get huge by any means. We care way more about quality than we do about anything else. But I'm not the best at celebrating things like that. I'm always thinking about, what's next, what can we work on. And Adrian Leosa, my friend and business partner at Treaty Oak, put together some of us on Friday, and my wife Allie said, "Hey, you need to celebrate this." So she put the balloons up behind me and said, "You need to leave these up for this week at least." So, anyways, back to the subject at hand. The real estate market statistics for Austin this month did not really surprise anyone at all. Easiest way to describe what's going on is basically that we have, a few things that are depressing the market, right? We have high mortgage rates, which is not new. We've known about this for a couple of years now. We have the election, which is not a surprise. We knew that the election was coming in November. Known that for a long time. And we have a really kind of poor job market, which we'll talk about towards the end. We don't need all three of these things to correct in order for the market to start improving, but we do need at least one or two of those things to correct. In August, we did see the market decline a decent amount on total sales. There's a 10% year over year decline on total sales. Things didn't move a whole lot, which was nice to see. We only saw minus 2.4% on earnings. Average days on market, which are what sellers care a lot about, and buyers for that matter too, changed up from 62 days on market to 70 days on market. And we've seen this sort of consistent increase in MOI throughout the year. And we're now up to 4.6 months of inventory versus 3.8 last year. That is firmly in a balanced market, but it certainly feels more like a buyer's market out there than it does a seller's market. So we don't talk about volume a ton. It affects real estate agents much more than it affects home buyers or home sellers. But it does do a good job of telling the story of demand. And demand is down, guys. So volume sold in the month of August is down 11%, and year to date is down 3.2%. This effectively just means that the 2024 market is going to be a little bit worse on an annual basis as compared to 2023. And statistically, 2023 was pretty bad. Units sold when you adjust for population was actually worse in 2023 than it was in 2008, which is kind of a compelling and interesting statistic. What do buyers and sellers care about the most? That is pricing stability. If I buy today, am I, catching a falling star or something like that? And the answer is no. For the past 12 months, August to August, you can see the trend line's actually a little bit positive on average sold price, and it's just a little bit negative on median sold price. Effectively, we have pricing stability, and we have for at least 18 months now. There's a dynamic here where sellers are just coming off the market. They're just saying, hey, look, I'm just not going to sell versus take a big cut on unperceived value. And the end result is stability, and we have a lot more renters now than we did 2-3 years ago. You can look at median sold price by month. This shows you seasonality really well. You can see the 2023 trend line. You'll just start seeing things decline as we move into the winter months. And you can see that 2024 is following that pretty closely. Just a declined value just a little bit. Pending units by month, we show this to sellers all the time and to buyers. Same thing where people are very excited to move in the summertime when kids are at school. Not super exciting to move during the holidays when everybody's thinking about pie and gifts and skiing and seeing family and things like that. So you can expect a straight line decline in demand between now and the end of the year. And then that will reset in the spring. You'll start seeing buyers come back into the market in February or so, and then things will really ramp up in March or April. So you want to plan accordingly if you're thinking about selling in the next year or so. New listings also declined considerably. It's same dynamic that, it's not fun to sell a house around the holidays either. So you'll just see more people choose to list in the spring and summer months. And then obviously, expired and withdrawns just continue to increase as we get into the holiday months. So this is what you can expect. You can expect the trend line to continue. So this is one of the things that's depressing the market that doesn't get talked about a ton, and that is that's the job market. And if we look at 12 months of Indeed.com job postings, they have about a third of the overall job market, so it's really reliable data. And you can see it's just declines, right? We've not seen this pick back up, and based on what we're reading in the news, it doesn't really seem like it will improve anytime soon. But the job market is affected by the Fed rate. Whenever the Fed eases, you can expect 6-12 months later, people will start hiring again. So, we're all looking at what the Fed's going to do here in a week or so. Everybody's best guess is that they're going to start easing in September. If you dial it back on the time period, this goes back to January of 2022. I look at everything from, call it, March of 2020 all the way to present as this pandemic market where we had this insane run up due to the pandemic and really low interest rates, lots and lots of money injected to the economy, to now where you have sort of like this pandemic bust where the Fed tightened considerably. We don't have this demand where people are thinking about being at home constantly. Work from home's going kind of the other way, and jobs are affected by that. So if you look at January 2022 to now, I mean, it's just been a decline in hiring, and we expect that to continue until the Fed starts easing, and then we'll see a 6 to 12 month delay, and we'll see hiring pick back up. The good news is that mortgage rates are affected pretty immediately. So if the Fed truly starts easing this month, that's already priced into rates. So you won't see a ton of movement in mortgages if they do decrease by, call it, a quarter point. If they drop by half a point, which is the minority opinion, you'll see mortgage rates move a little bit. But then once we see what their plans are, it's really going to be more about the comments than anything. So if they indicate that they're going to continue to ease, which everybody expects they will, you will see rates just continue to drop. Best guesses are that we'll see rates in probably the high fives, worst case low sixes in the spring, maybe best case mid fives. If that happens, which is likely, you're going to see a lot of pent-up demand come back into the market. And what I mean by that is that, buyers have sat on the sidelines since rates started increasing in 2022. But generally speaking, life events are what cause people to move. So from that point, mid 2022, when rates really started getting bad to now, people have still been getting married. They've still been having kids. Kids are still moving out of the house, and people are becoming empty nesters. And nobody's really done much because rates have been high. So people, wait and see, sitting on the sidelines makes a lot of sense. When rates start to come down, you will see that demand enter the market. People that have had kids in that time period, the house is still too small for them. People whose kids have moved out of the house, well, the house is still too big for them. So it doesn't take a lot in the way of positive news in the mortgage market to see those sideline buyers get back into the market. And then again, what we need to see is when you see jobs come back. Hopefully by the end of next year, we will start seeing tech hiring again, which is what affects Austin disproportionately. So bull case, which could certainly happen, is that we see a lot of pent-up demand hit the market in the spring, return kind of to a normal or closer to a normal versus this really depressed market that we're in. And then hopefully hiring comes back later in the year, at which point the market picks up even more. So we're very hopeful and cautiously optimistic that 25 will be a recovery year. And then 26, we're going to start looking at a normal Austin market again. I love talking about this stuff. So if anybody would like to discuss your specific situation, if you're a home seller trying to strategize when you're going to go on the market, if you're a buyer who's thinking about, hey, when's the right time to buy, if you're an agent that just wants to business plan, reach out to me, reach out to us. Really amazing agents here that can help you out if you're a consumer. I love chatting with agents about business planning. So reach out to me if you'd like to chat about that. And yeah, follow us on the channel. If you haven't subscribed to the email newsletter, please do so. And we do have a really active group on Facebook where we discuss stats quite a bit. So please join that group if you haven't already. I'm Eric Bramlett, Bramlett Residential. Hope everyone has an amazing week this week. And I hope everybody is doing incredibly well. Thanks so much.